Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on Porsha's Family Matters. So the show starts off with Porsha like pretty much catching us up on what she's been doing, how the last time we seen her on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, her and Dennis were trying to work it out, but it wasn't working out. Tying up loose ends with Dennis and how she ended up with Simon. And she really wants us to believe that she's in love with Simon. And she's also, you know, she's addressing the elephant in the room, how she ended up with this man in the timeline and how she didn't think that it would be such a big deal. Simon said, it ain't none of our business what they was doing, how they got together, you know, all of that. Why are you on the show? We didn't need no show about you. You didn't have to be on the show. You could have let Porsha do the show by herself. If it's not our business, then don't be on the show. Let Porsha have her show by herself. You can't be on a reality TV show and then want to check the viewers' opinions, because we don't gotta watch it, and then they'll pull the plug on it, you know. But whatever. Porsha's telling us how this relationship and engagement came to be. Simon giving us a different story. Now, before we go any further, let me just say this right here. Personally, I'm glad that they have this little show right here because I didn't want to see this mess on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Secondly, I'm not going to judge Porsha and call Porsha a home wrecker. I judge every situation on a case-by-case basis because, child, I've observed some scandal in my young years. Okay, I've seen a lot. Starting from a very young age, I have seen a lot of things. So I try not to judge anyone just on a general... Things are not black and white with me. Things are not black and white with me. Like, I see in color. So I judge everything on a case-by-case basis. So I'm not going to call her a homewrecker. And then Simon and Fallon's home was already wrecked. They wrecked their own home, okay, before Porsha came along. Fallon had Jalen. Simon had Barbie with the bad wig. We saw her, and she showed us all the receipts that she was already with Simon before Porsha came along. So I'm not going to call Porsha a homewrecker, but I am going to judge Porsha based on the words that came out of her own mouth. I didn't watch last season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I did watch the last couple of episodes, and I did see how she was giving support to Drew and her foolish storyline about the prophet and calling LaToya a Delilah spirit. Meanwhile, the Delilah spirit was sitting right next to her with the big old bubble booty. I used to love Porsha, but it's not going to stop me from calling her out on her bullshit. I'm neutral to everyone at this point. However, you gave her support when she was talking about Delilah spirits and the freaking and LaToya breaking up an engagement. Also, I remember, what was it, season 5, when Porsha was a new housewife on Real Housewives of Atlanta and she went on the Wendy Williams show. And Wendy Williams was like, you know, we saw Kenya Moore going around flirting with everybody's husband. Your husband is the only one that she didn't flirt with. And Porsha was like, and she lucky she didn't. I would have pushed her off the cliff in Anguilla because I don't play that behind my husband. I also remember not too long ago when Jordyn Woods was in the hot seat, when Jordyn Woods was in her situation wasn't even this nasty and scary. Her situation wasn't even this terrible. I don't remember Porsha being understanding to Jordyn Woods. I remember her talking her shit. So now, boo-boo, now that it's you, we ain't changing the rules for you. I'ma judge you based off of what you said out your mouth. You thought it was so terrible what Jordyn had done or hadn't done. You didn't get all the facts, and you judged her. So we gonna judge you now. This little show here, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna be objective. But I want y'all to know, Fallon having that little baby girl, I'm sure she's gorgeous, does not absolve Porsha from nothing. This situation is still raggedy. You getting with this woman and you getting with this man and the ink is not dry. The ink wasn't even on the divorce papers. So yeah, I know Porsha is walking around here thinking that Fallon having that baby, and I did the math. 40 weeks ago from the day that she gave birth was February, back when she was still very much married to Simon. And low key, I wouldn't even be surprised if that baby is Simon's, because the way Fallon and Simon move, them some scammers. And I'm not saying they be stealing people's information, okay? I'm just saying the way that they move, I wouldn't trust them if they said good morning. It's really looking like Porsha. You really are Porsha the Pawn. I'm gonna watch this show. I'm gonna watch the show because you know what? TV is for entertainment. And I'm gonna watch, okay? And if y'all watching with me, then y'all check out my sound offs, okay? But yeah, Porsha, girl, no, Porsha. Her having that baby, all of this is still very raggedy. You are not in the clear. You do not now look better. The optics are still raggedy. The whole thing is raggedy still. Just so you know. So Porsha and Simon go house hunting, and they're looking for somewhere, they're looking for a house big enough to accommodate their new family, because he got he got 4 kids. I don't know. I think they said they had 5 kids, but I feel like he had 5. I don't know. He got a lot of kids. Porsha has 1, and they're blending their families together. They need someone big enough to accommodate all of the peoples involved. Porsha brings up the point that, Simon, you got a lot of cars just for you. Like, have you ever thought about where the kids' cars are going to be once they start driving? And he was like, if they can have a car, then they can get their own place. So Porsha's like, well, Pilar, she ain't never leaving me. She gonna be with me forever. So remember that, And I just feel like y'all getting married and combining families, and you don't even know his thoughts of parenting. You don't even know his views. You don't know that that's how he feels. But y'all getting married and blending y'all families. Okay, girl. So the house that they're looking at is nice and everything. It's beautiful. It's great, but it's just not gonna work because they too many people. They can't fit in the house. But Porsha is sitting down with Simon and they're talking, and she's just saying how, my sister was shocked when she found out that I was gonna move, because no one has been able to get me to move out of Duluth. Because that was the issue between Porsha and Dennis. Dennis wanted a house in Atlanta. They was looking for houses, and she ain't want to move. She wanted Dennis to pay off the mortgage on her house. And Dennis was like, no, ma'am, that ain't going to work for us. Let's sell this place and get something else. Porsha don't want to do that, because when she was married to Cordell, she sold her townhome. He told her he was selling his house. They moved to a rental property. When Cordell and her broke up, he threw her shit off on the curb of her mama's driveway, got rid of the rental, and moved back to the house he told her he sold. Meanwhile, Porsha is out of a house. So it's a very touchy subject about this whole selling her house and moving out of her house. And the whole thing is a big, and Porsha, you will be a big ass dummy if you give up your home. Porsha, I know Porsha, I ain't really fooling with you these days, but I still want the best for you, sis. I still want the best for any woman. You didn't quit 2 jobs. Please don't be that dumb. I'm still hoping that this relationship is some bullshit. Some made for TV nonsense. Please don't tell me you're gonna give up your home. Don't give up your house, girl. Don't be no dummy. So they also touch on the fact that Simon is not comfortable in Porsha's house, and for the same reasons why Porsha isn't comfortable in his house, because y'all in this scandalous relationship. But y'all comfortable being with each other. Okay, girl. Okay. So back at Porsha's house, Miss Diane is babysitting PJ, and Dennis stops by. I like Miss Diane. I think she looks like my mom's best friend. So when I see Miss Diane on the TV show, I feel like that's my auntie. I really do. I just like her. I don't care. But anyways, Miss Diane is letting us know in her confessionals that Dennis will always be her family. They will always have a friendly relationship. But what Dennis and Porsha got going on ain't gonna change that. So Dennis rings the doorbell and little PJ, little Pilar, she's like, Daddy! And I thought that was so cute. This show is making me like Dennis. And I ain't like Dennis. I really did not like him. I must really can't stand Simon. Dennis is keeping it real, okay? He's letting us know in his confessionals, like, yeah, this stuff looks crazy to me, just like it looks crazy to y'all. He's giving us a timeline of him and Porsha, how back in Christmas, they was all wearing matching PJs, taking photos. He was dressed like Santa. He said, y'all saw that shit? And I did see it. I remembered. They looked like they were still together. They looked like they were a family, which is why I was very confused by this whole situation. But whatever. He lets us know Porsha asked for her ring back, but they couldn't get their stuff back together. Low-key, he letting us know he was still, they was still getting it in. But he was like, she asked for the ring back. Next thing you know, she engaged to this man. See, Dennis is going to make this show watchable. Porsha's birthday party is approaching, and Dennis lets Miss Diane know that Porsha told him he can't bring a date to the birthday party, so he won't be attending. And she was like, she told you that? He was like, yeah, she said I can't bring no date. Now, Porsha, why this man can't bring no date? Child, Porsha and Dennis still want to be with each other. If they get back together by the end of this show, I'm gonna be here for it, because I don't think nobody is here for Simon and Porsha. I'm not here for Simon, period. And even though, Porsha, I'm not feeling you, you deserve better, sweets. But okay, girl. So apparently, Porsha was really affected by the way y'all was dragging her on social media after we found out she was with this guy. And Porsha, girl, what was you expecting, sweetheart? Like, what did you expect? This is raggedy. I wasn't dragging you, but I was in my head. I was dragging you in my head. I didn't have the energy to I was shamed, because I used to really love you, Porsha. I was so shamed. I was shamed. I was really shamed, girl. I don't know what to say. I wasn't one of the ones dragging you, but on my phone conversations with my peoples, I was dragging you. Yeah. I don't know what you thought. Like, I don't know, what reaction did you think people was gonna have, sweet? Like, what did you think we was gonna, Porsha? Porsha, you got dragged, rightfully so, because this mess right here, this was raggedy, and it's still raggedy. But like I said, apparently she was really affected by what people were saying about her on social media. And Porsha, oh well, girl. When you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, Simon and her, I guess, have had this conversation about, like, be careful what you post. Let me know what you're posting. So for her birthday, he makes a birthday post that Porsha did not like. She wasn't feeling it. She didn't like it. He posted pictures that she specifically asked him not to post, and it made her feel some kind of way on the day of her birthday party. And so much so that she didn't want to go to her birthday party. And it's just like, Porsha, girl, this is what happens when you get with somebody. This is what, like, girl, this is what you deserve. I'm sorry. This is what you deserve. Simon been weird on social media. Leading up to season 13. Now, I'm very observant. People probably think I'll be going looking for stuff. I really don't go looking for shit. Things happen to just fall into my lap. And I remember shit. And I'm very observant. But I do remember when it was announced that Fallon would be on season 13 as Porsha's friend, Simon and Fallon, a lot of their posts would come up on my Explore page. And I remember Simon posted this long Instagram post. It was so weird. And he was like, this is the debut of my wife. And that, like, this long ass post, this long ass caption about Fallon being on the show. And I was just like, this is the franchise that had Peter Thomas. Even that dude didn't do all of that. And his wife was famous. His wife was a whole supermodel who was like on the catwalk with Naomi and them. He didn't even do all of this when his wife was going to be on the show. So I knew instantly that I didn't like Simon. I knew instantly that he was a clout chaser. I knew instantly that he was a fan of the show. Because it was just like, I've never seen nobody do that. So he been weird on social media. Been a little, thirsty for attention and fame. So it doesn't surprise me that he would post that about Porsha. But if Porsha asks you not to post those pictures, like Porsha, that's another red flag, sis. If you specifically ask him, don't post these personal photos, and then he posts them anyways. So meanwhile, Lauren is setting up for Porsha's birthday party with their cousin Londi, who I think I would like Londi too. Like, Dennis obviously is going to be my favorite person on the show, but I like Londi so far. But that's Porsha and Lauren's first cousin on their daddy's side. And she's there helping, set up for the party. And they're talking about, Simon's social media antics. And Lauren is letting her know, I think Simon really fuels the fire when it comes to the social media stuff. And it's so funny that we're now finding out that Porsha was bothered by this, because we wouldn't have known. I couldn't tell that she was bothered. Because Simon was having the time of his life on social media when all this was going on. As they're talking, Simon shows up and Lauren is like, it's very awkward when he comes around and Porsha's not around because I'm not used to him. Yeah, because you just met the man. Don't know him. Porsha don't even damn know him. So yeah, so of course you're going to feel uncomfortable. But they're having conversations and he's letting us know, yeah, I just went to Porsha's and I just dropped off her birthday presents, and some of them are practical and some are not practical. But only thing they showed us was a Chanel bag and then some fragrance. And I mean, I think that was expected. I don't know what else he got her. So don't get me the line. I don't know what else he got her. But who cares? Like, aren't you supposed to give her nice things? All right. Everybody's at Porsha's house pre-gaming for the party. They load the party bus that was provided by Dennis. And I thought that was strange because he provided a party bus and Simon, like, why Simon didn't provide the party bus? Why Dennis had to do that? I mean, I ain't mad at it, girl. Do what you do. But I just thought that was kind of weird. So they get to Porsha's party. It's full of Porshas. Everything looks nice. Everybody looks nice. Everybody's having a good time. And then Drew shows up looking like a Porsha clone. And she looked cute, though. I ain't going to be mad at her. She looked cute. I don't really fool with her like that. But she looked cute. They roll a flashback of Fallon's Halloween party while they were all there. And LaToya was making a joke about how this is how you get to live when you married to an older man. And then they bring it right back to current. And Drew was like congratulating everyone. She was like, I don't need to know the details, but as long as everybody's happy, congratulations. And it was like, you shut the hell up, bitch. I would have respected Drew if she would have been like, girl, I didn't know you was the Delilah the whole time, but congratulations. I would have respected that. But she talking about something, I don't need to know what happened. Congratulations, girl. You so phony. You are so phony. So anyways, at some point in the party, Porsha pulls her oh God to the side and lets him know, like, I let you know that birthday post, look, it wasn't the I nor the T. I'm not comfortable with it. He don't give a fuck. He gonna do what he want to do. And I think that's rude. I'm sorry. I feel like if your fiance is telling you that you did something that made her feel uncomfortable on her birthday, you supposed to care. But he really tried to play with us. He really tried to play in our face talking about something. I don't give a fuck about social media. Social media, I don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about social media, but you stay writing dissertations on social media. Like, for real. And you be embarrassing yourself. I'm glad he chilled on that, though. Because I think he has. I haven't heard nothing about his shenanigans lately. But I remember he used to write a whole bunch of embarrassing posts. Like, people was letting him know that they was not featuring him. He did so much grandstanding on social media. It's like, you can't tell me you don't give a fuck. You definitely give a fuck. You give all the fucks. You do. That's why you're on this show. But anyways, he apologizes and he, you know, acknowledges her feelings, I guess, at some point. And they start flirting and Porsha's like showing her dress. Now, Porsha, that dress was bad. Porsha looked real good in that dress, okay? I could be mad at her and still let her know the bitch looked good, okay? She did. She was wearing that dress. And now we know, if you follow them on social media, Dennis had made a comment on that picture of her wearing the dress saying, I forgot you was engaged, Pill Willie. You know, I was about to hit you up. And Simon saw it and he started writing mine on all her pictures. And it was like, if he wanted, he could take your girl from you. You know how you get them is how you lose them, right? Okay. So it's a new day and Porsha and Simon go out to dinner at this nice little restaurant. It's cute or whatever. And somehow they get onto the subject of polygamy. And Simon says his grandfather had 25 wives. See, I'm African as well. Sierra Leonean and Liberian. And my dad's dad, he had many wives. I don't know how many. I know that man didn't have 25 though. I don't know how many he had. I don't have the, you know, I don't have all that worked out. I'm not judging. Clearly, I can't judge. Clearly, I cannot judge. But 25 wives? Damn. How do you remember? Let me shut up. That was a different time. That was a different time. But anyways, Simon says his granddaddy had 25 wives and that his daddy had 2. And he's like, where I'm from, you know, wives will let you have a side bitch. They'll tell you you can have one side bitch. And sometimes the wife and the side bitch get together and make sure you don't have another side bitch. I'm not Nigerian. My great grandmother actually was half Yoruba. So I got some of it in me, but I wasn't raised Nigerian. I wasn't raised with the culture. But I think I can say that the wives don't say go have a side bitch. Maybe today, maybe in 2021, people say stuff like that. But I didn't like how he said that. That just sounded so crass. Oh, you can have a wife and a side bitch. I ain't like how he said that. I felt like it was very crass. It was very disrespectful. Every situation differs, but I didn't appreciate that he said it like that. You are allowed to have multiple wives, and if you can afford them and you can take care of them and the children that come along with all of that, it's acceptable. It's part of tradition, it's culture, yes. But when he was like, in my part of the country, your wife will allow you to have a side bitch, I ain't like how he said that. He was trying to sound cool, but it just came off real crass. He then goes on to speak and says how, you know, he had a lot of kids. It was a lot of children growing up. He was the oldest and he never really got the attention from his father that he feels he should have gotten. And there was a lot of love, but there was not enough for it to go around. I don't really know what that meant, but okay. But Porsha kind of was like, yeah, you know, that's how Dennis feels. You know, he wasn't that close to his father. So he is raising Pilar with the intention of, I'm going to change that. I'm going to make sure that, you know, I right that situation with my own child. And she kind of uses that to kind of say, hey, I think that Dennis and you should have a sit down at some point and have some, you know, conversation. And Simon was like, yeah, I'll allow him to have me in small doses. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but in his confessionals, he's saying that Dennis is not his type of guy. That would never be his friend. Had it not been for Porsha, he would never be friends with someone like Dennis. And he wouldn't even know what to say to someone like Dennis. He don't know what they would talk about. They don't have anything in common. And it's just like, Dennis is the male version of Porsha. If you have something to talk about with Porsha, then you would have something to talk about with Dennis. And isn't that how you and Fallon were introduced on the show? That you were friends with Dennis and you introduced Fallon and Porsha? So y'all just be lying on these shows. But whatever. I didn't like that. That was another thing that I didn't like. You wouldn't know what to talk about with Dennis. It felt like he was trying to say he was better than Dennis, and I didn't appreciate that, because if we're supposed to believe that this relationship is real and that it's gonna go somewhere, how is Pilar going to feel if she sees this one day that you're talking about her father the way that you are? And Porsha, you okay with this? Like, I'm really not understanding the hostility towards Dennis. Like, did Dennis steal from you? Didn't you? Like, I'm confused. I don't know. So it's the next day, and Lonnie stops by Porsha's house to set up for the cookout that they're supposed to be having. And they decide to have a conversation, and they're, chatting it up. And Londi, I like Londi. I told y'all this, right? I like Londi. So she's asking Porsha, like, girl, Dennis been hitting Lauren up a lot lately. Did you know that? And Porsha's like, I ain't know. So while she's saying this, I guess over at the hot dog factory, Lauren is visiting with Dennis. Because I guess Dennis invited her. He was like, yo, pull up on me. And she was like, oh, okay. And she was like, can I get free hot dogs? And he was like, yeah. But I was like, isn't Lauren vegan? Maybe they got vegan hot dogs. Let me shut up. I'm gonna mind my business, So Dennis is just like, yo, I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on? You guys been on these trips. And he was like, yeah, I went out of town for the engagement. And so Dennis was like, yeah, so what's good with that? Because she told me she was talking to somebody, and 2 weeks later, she's engaged. So what's the real timeline on this? And when did they really start talking? And Lauren was like, at that moment, they had just been talking for like 2 weeks and they got engaged. And back at Porsha's house, Londi is asking Porsha the same thing. And Porsha was like, a month. Well, Lauren had already told your secret. It was really 2 weeks. This is just raggedy, Porsha. But whatever. They're both having the two conversations back and forth. Porsha lying. Porsha is lying. And Lauren is just like, ooh, Lauren. Lauren really loves her sister. She really loves her sister, because ain't no way. I'd be like, girl, I'm not sitting here co-signing your lies. I would have told her that. But Dennis is like, look. This don't look good. This does not look good. She's engaged to a married man. This don't look good. She looking like a man stealer. He said, I don't care what happened. It's what it looked like. It looked like she stole somebody's man. She gonna go down in the Hall of Fame. Lauren is just sitting there looking like, yeah. What Lauren supposed to say? What can Lauren say? He said, why you couldn't just grab her and shake her and say, don't do this. What's wrong with you? And Lauren is just like, poor Lauren. Lauren, I hope that paycheck that Porsha pays you, I hope the money is good. I hope the money is good, because, man, Porsha be putting you in some situations. The cleanup woman. Like, Porsha, you really will go down in history for this mess right here. I hope it's worth it. Okay, I hope the paycheck that you're going to get from this is worth it, because, girl, you look a mess. There's no way to clean this up. Fallon's baby does not absolve you. You still look a mess. Dennis ain't lied about that. Back at Porsha's house, Londi is still trying to fill in the blanks because she want to understand this situation. And what Londi is going to have to realize, it's never going to make no sense, because they're going to lie to you. And even if they tell you all the truth, it still ain't going to make no sense. But whatever. So they start talking about the infamous Mother's Day event. And she's trying to get the details. Like, what's really going on? Dennis threw this lavish Mother's Day extravaganza, and then you let us all know that you were engaged to Simon. Dennis was planning all of this, but she couldn't let Dennis know because he would have canceled it. Huh? Porsha, you out here bad. You are down bad. Like, girl. You getting engaged to Simon? Let Simon throw you a Mother's Day extravaganza. Meanwhile, Dennis is explaining how that photo came to be. He was like, look, I didn't have a problem taking a photo because at this point, it is what it is. He said, but he was totally blindsided. And Porsha didn't give a damn. Porsha literally showing her ass like she really doesn't care about nothing or anyone but herself. Anyways, he said he took the picture. He didn't think that the picture would break the internet, but that's exactly what it did. It broke the internet. It still ain't recovered since then. That will go down. That was probably the most talked about situations in 2021. But he said he didn't think that would happen. Well, it did. Lauren and Dennis are talking about how Porsha wouldn't allow him to bring a +1 or a date to any of their festivities. So if she can't bring nobody, he ain't gonna be around. And I really don't blame him because that's so awkward as hell. Like that, what Porsha is doing to her friends and her family, it's just weird. But he was like, if I can't bring no +1, I'm gonna be there. And she was like, well, why won't she let you bring a +1? He said, because she still loves me. She does. Because why can't he bring a +1? Porsha said earlier in the episode, like, oh, if his +1 is ugly and she looked like a big old bus, then he could bring her. What does it matter? Aren't you engaged? Aren't you getting married? Why do you care about what Dennis is doing? I'm confused a little bit. Londi was like, they all delusional. It's just a whole big old mess, and she's right. They are all delusional. I don't think Dennis is delusional, but Dennis is crazy to be going along with this shit. But he didn't let us know. He gonna be around for a good 16, 17 years. But really, y'all have a daughter. You're gonna be around forever. Because after PJ, y'all will have grandkids together. Y'all gonna be in each other's lives forever. He said he'll be there when everything crashes and burns because he can already see where this is going. And I think we all know this is gonna crash and burn. But he does let us know that he's gonna be supportive of the relationship. And I appreciate that about Dennis because a lot of men would have been like, no, they would be dogging Porsha. He's not gonna do that. He was like, but he gonna have some fun while he watches this nonsense take place. I already let y'all know, I think Porsha and Dennis gonna be together by the end of this thing. I hope this is not supposed to try to clean up Porsha and Simon's image because it really doesn't make them look any better. Fallon having the little baby doesn't make them look any better because the way Fallon and Simon moved, that might be Simon's baby. We don't know. Because 40 weeks ago, they were still very much married. He was very much posting his wife, saying that they had a great marriage and that they were culturally yoked. And he was saying all kinds of craziness that he be saying. And that very well could be Simon's baby. But look, the way they move, anything is possible. But this didn't paint y'all in a better light. Y'all still look crazy. This show is making Porsha look selfish as fuck. Your cousin, your sister, your child's father, your mom, you've put all of them in a position to where they have to fight something that they fight for you and defend you in a situation that they don't understand themselves. You making them uncomfortable. Londi said, I think in a flashback clip, that this is the most awkward position that you've ever put her in. Y'all all look crazy. But I mean, if you happy, girl, I guess forget everybody else. I don't know. Thank God for Londi and Dennis because they're going to make the show somewhat entertaining, somewhat enjoyable to watch. Because we not buying nothing you talking about, Porsha. I ain't buying nothing Simon saying. I ain't buying nothing you saying. Lauren looks like I don't know. Every time somebody say something that makes sense, Lauren's like, child, this show is a mess, but I will be watching. I will be watching all of it. And I think I'm about to go over and try to find Londi and Dennis on social media because them two are my type of people. I like keeping it real and I like that. But you know what? Until next Sunday, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.